You're watching Mirror 7 News. Stay informed, stay ahead for more news.
Here's a breakdown of this eventful episode of Tout le monde en parle, told in a natural, flowing way, almost like sharing the highlights with a friend right now. The show this week brought together a lineup that created not just lively conversation, but also some real moments of tension, humor, and reflection. At the heart of the episode was Stéphane Rousseau, who stopped by to talk about Karaoke Club, the new music competition show he's hosting. He admitted he wasn't sure at first if he even wanted to take on the project, since it's a British concept being adapted for Quebec. Eventually, though, he said most of his wild ideas had actually been brought to life. He also joked about the singing abilities of the upcoming guests, some being more ear-friendly than others. Rousseau spoke briefly about his other TV roles, his love for chanteurs masqués, and his enjoyment of acting in stat, though he insisted he never received any special treatment from the show's director, who also happens to be his partner. But the most intense part of the night came when sociologist and columnist Mathieu Bock-Côté joined the panel. He was there to discuss his new book, Les Deux Occidents, which explores what he describes as a growing divide between two Western worlds, a Trump-shaped America and a more progressive Europe. The discussion quickly turned sharp, as Guy A. Lepage challenged him with questions suggesting some of his ideas might sound racist, conspiratorial, or extreme. Bock-Côté defended himself forcefully, saying he had no admiration for Donald Trump, but believed the underlying cultural discontent in the U.S. shouldn't be ignored. He argued that debates about identity, migration, and multiculturalism are being oversimplified, and that labeling dissenting opinions as hate speech is a way of shutting down conversation. For him, the real concern is cultural survival, especially for Quebec, which he believes is facing pressure strong enough to push it toward a Louisiana-style erosion of French language and identity. This idea didn't go unchallenged. Although Quebec Solidaire's Sol Zanetti didn't get the chance to directly debate Bock-Côté live, he and Ruba Gazal still made their positions clear. Gazal shared her own story, arriving in Quebec without knowing French, yet becoming deeply Québécoise, and insisted that inclusion is the only path for the independence movement to grow. She argued that for immigrants to vote yes someday, they must feel welcomed, valued, and fully part of Quebec. Zanetti echoed this, pushing for a sovereignty movement rooted not in fear, but in openness and shared hope. Amid all this political intensity, other guests brought balance. Director Serge Denoncourt talked about his complicated love for both Paris and Montreal, and teased stories from his book and TV series, Serge à Paris. Actress and writer Gabrielle Côté added a refreshing burst of energy by presenting Les Furies, the first Quebec-made sports comedy led by women, something she's proud to have created to break stereotypes in sports storytelling. By the end, the episode felt like a mix of celebration, confrontation, and deep reflection. Art, politics, identity, and humor all collided, making it one of those nights on TLMEP that people will keep talking about long after the cameras stop rolling. Stay subscribed for more videos.